to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be doing a polygel nail set. I already took the polygel off from the last set that I had, and if you guys want to know more about like the proper way to remove polygel, you can go back to my video prior to this one that just kind of covers more of the removal process and how you can actually remove them safely without damaging your nail bed. So I didn't do that this video because I didn't want to be repetitive. This time we're just going to do the actual polygel set. I'm going to show you all the products we're going to be using, and I'm going to show you the whole process of doing the new polygel set, and then we're going to go from there. So I did want to mention this is a really good brand of acetone. It's 100%. You want to make sure you get 100% pure acetone. Regular nail polish remover is fine, but it's not strong enough to remove things like gel, polygel, and stuff like that. So I did want to make mention of that. The color we're choosing is B075 in the Cassini brand, and it's just so cute. For some reason, I was feeling like orange. Isn't that pretty? Bright, nice for the summer, spring. And then today, we usually use the brand, Cassini brand, for the top base coat and top coat, but today we're going to actually use BlueDee brand because this is what I had. I'm running low on the base coat in the Cassini brand, so I'll let you guys know how well this works. And for the actual polygel, we're using the Saviland brand, and I'm using the color sheer pink, but it really doesn't matter because I'm putting gel polish over it. So whatever color you have on hand is fine if you're doing this set. And then you need your slip solution that's going to remove the sticky layer off of that. So we'll be right back. I'm going to actually start just applying the polygel for you guys so you can see that. All right, so after I've already buffed the nail, pushed my cuticles down, basically kind of made it a rough surface by using a nail filer. Right now I was using the 100/180 file, and you do it gently because you don't want to remove too much keratin from your nail bed. So you just want to do it gently, but you do want to create, I don't know if you guys can see that rough surface that I've created. It helps the product adhere better to the nail. And after I do that, just to kind of dry it out, I use some of the acetone on these little pads, and I got these off Amazon. I'll try to link these for like 100 of them. It was like a really good price. And you just put a little bit of acetone on that. You don't want to use a cotton swab for that because you'll end up with little flyaways stuck to your nail. And once you do that, you're pretty much ready to apply. So we're going to start the process. The first thing you want to do is start with your base coat. And for me, at one point I was getting some lifting here at the tip. So I start with my base coat from the tip. I cure it for 60 seconds. Then I go ahead to the rest of the nail and cure it for 60 seconds again. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll start here. And of course, for like dehydrator, you don't have to use acetone. They do have dehydrators you can buy off Amazon, but acetone works perfectly fine. So I'm just doing the tips first because that's where I get most of my lifting when I'm like rushing. So I want to go ahead and make sure the tips are saturated with the base coat so it doesn't lift. Now, if yours is the opposite or you get lifting at the cuticle area, then you can put some extra base coat down there just to make sure it adheres to the nail properly. I actually am liking this base coat just from the texture. It's actually a lot thicker than the Cassini brand from what I can see. Trying to make sure I'm getting a good angle for you guys. But once you apply this, you can cure it. And I do one hand at a time. I'm doing this hand here so I can use my dominant hand for you guys to show you. Okay, so now I'm going to stick my hand under the lamp. My lamp was a gift, but I'm going to see if I can find one similar or maybe the exact one. And then I'm going to put it in the bio for you guys too. It works really, really good. So I'll be right back when I do the second coat just to show you guys, and then we will go on to the color. Okay, so after the 60 seconds, you see I don't have any on the lower parts of my nail closest to the cuticle, so I'm going to apply that now. And while I do that, you'll just see I'm just going down here and pulling up towards the tip of the nail. The reason I use polygel, I mean, I've done everything that you can imagine. Acrylics, I don't really like doing acrylics. I find them to be like damaging to the nail. but I used to use just gel. And I grow my nails. These are my natural nails, and I grow them fairly quick. And what happens is they get so long that they break very easily. So I started looking for something that I can put on top of my natural nail that can add strength, because I do a lot with my hands, taking care of my kids, doing things around the house, and I don't like when one nail breaks and I feel like I have to cut them all down. So what I did was I started using dip powder, and I'm going to go back to using dip powder. I actually ran out of base coat for the dip powder, but I used dip powder for a long time, and it really helps because it adds the extra strength to your nail to kind of make them tough like acrylics, to where they don't break as easily, and you can maintain your length. So it's more like an overlay. Same thing it would be with like a gel overlay. But I started getting into polygel. My sister gave me this polygel set. Shout out to my sister. I'm gonna put her information. She has a craft business and she's super talented too. So she actually gave me this set, this polygel set, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And I ended up loving it so much. And I haven't went back to dip powder in a while, which I am going to do. My next video for you guys, and my next nail video for you guys is going to be dip powder. So right now, I'm into the polygel. It really is like very, very strong. It makes my nails very, very strong. Sometimes with dip powder, I did have some cracking, and that could have been due to the brand. But this brand, I have not had a problem with at all, with any cracking or anything like that, breaking or anything. And it lasts me. It could last me a month, but I do a different design every 2 weeks because I'm extra. So that's why I use the polygel. That was the second layer of base coat, and now we're going to start. It's called 5-in-1 Builder Gel. Now with this, you can soak it in acetone, but when I remove it, I do use a nail drill for like the first 2 layers, and then for the rest, because I don't want to drill on my actual nail bed and damage my nail bed, so I take the last couple of layers off with the acetone. And again, if you want to see the removal process before you put them on, you can definitely go check out my previous video. And so what the base coat does is it kind of makes it sticky for the product to be able to adhere to. Now here's the part where I'll let you all decide how you want to apply. See, it's kind of like a gel but just thicker, so you're actually using this to build a nail. A lot of people use this with nail forms as well if they don't have the length or free edge that I have and they want to make their own nail. You can buy some nail stickers that you put them under here, and then you can actually shape out your nail, and it has numbers on it so you can make sure they're all the same length. But for me, I have my nails already long, so I'm going to start adding, and what I do is I start at the middle of the nail with it. And the reason being is because I'm trying to build somewhat of an apex, where you put your nail to the side and you have that nice perfect curve. I like that because it kind of gives acrylic, how acrylic nails would look. But you can apply it just like you would like with a polish, but you don't want to be too rough with it. You kind of want to just use the brush to maneuver the gel to where you want it to go. Because if you are too rough, you'll just take the product back off. And then I do this because it is so thick. So I'll let you see a little closer. See how it does that? So I kind of go like that just to get the rest of it on the brush. And then I start again at the middle of the nail and I pull forward. Make sure you're getting your sides and edges and stuff like that, because you will get some cracking on the sides of your nails, and pull to the tips very easily and gently. And then you just repeat that process on each nail, and then you'll cure it for 60 seconds. And then once you come back for the next layer, you'll go from here, just like I did with the base coat, and that will build like a little curve, like when you hold your nail to the side, you'll be able, versus it being flat, like if you were just using polish. And of course, if this is a step that you're willing to skip or don't need, you can just go from here straight up. You don't have to do this part if you don't care for the apex portion. So that's how I do it, and pull to the tip. And you get the hang of it. I would probably say it took me maybe a couple applications before I actually got like the hang. Yes, take it off the edges right away before you cure it. Because if you cure it with it on your skin, the thing about these nails is just kind of like the same with gel. It doesn't come off very easily. Of course, you can, if you make a mistake, soak it off and stuff like that. But who wants to go through that? When you could just, you know, take all the excess off of the sides of your nails, or any mistakes that you make or imperfections that you don't like before you put your fingers in the lamp. Make sure you correct those mistakes. And so here is the last nail, at least for that portion, and then I'll go back in. So I'm going to cure it, and then I'll come back and show you guys the second layer. All right, so here's what it looks like just from the first layer. Now with this, you can do however many layers you see. Now, the last time I usually do like 4 or 5 layers even sometimes. It depends on how thick you want them to be. Now the last set that I just actually took off before I recorded this video, I actually did, they look thick enough to me, so I left them at 3 layers. Bad idea. They started kind of breaking here on the sides. And that may be because I had the set on for a long time too. But I would suggest just going based on your preference. You know how thick or thin you want them, but just keep in mind, the thinner they are, the more likely they are to have some breaking, you know, to where you have to fix a nail, or maybe even possibly like remove the set before you're really ready to. So just be mindful of that. This is the second layer. I think today I'm probably going to do, probably shoot for 4 layers. So as you can see, and now I'm going all the way to the cuticle. And make sure you get those sides really good. Even if you get it on your skin, like I said before, as long as you take it off before you cure it, you're fine. See? And don't worry about seeing the difference between the 2 colors with the first layer and this layer, because you're going to layer it on a couple more times. So and of course, I'm using my dominant hand for this right now, so it's going to be a little harder. It's going to be a little bit harder when I do the other hand, but I've gotten so used to it that I know how to pretty much do it. Okay, and then we're going to do this one, and then again we're going to cure for 60 seconds, but this is pretty much the gist of it. So I think you guys can see it's kind of just the same thing as applying nail polish when you're doing it like an overlay. So I'll be right back after I cure it, and then I'll finish the 4 layers and come back. All right, y'all, so I'm back, and here we are after 4 layers. And not me changing my mind on the color, because I had forgot how pretty this sheer pink is, because for the last few times or last video I used the nude, and I totally forgot how pretty this sheer pink is. So now I'm kind of torn between, do I put orange over this pretty color and just wear them orange, or do I leave them like that? That is pretty to me. Like, I'm a fan of like nudes, nude pinks, nude sheer pinks, regular nudes. Like, I like those neutral, subtle type of sets. And the fact that this is kind of given like a sheer pink, I want to keep it. So I think what I'm gonna do for this is just go ahead and wear them like this for maybe like a week, and then once I'm tired of it, because that happens, I get tired of hairstyles, nails, everything. I get tired of everything quick. I'm a Gemini. We don't have the attention span for that. So maybe I'll come back after a week and do a part 2 and do the orange color with like some nail art, because I just can't. I can't find it in my heart to just. I really can't. So what we're gonna do here is just use the slip solution. So right now, don't be alarmed if you do your set and it still feels like tacky or sticky or wet. I did on the 4th layer cure it twice, 60 seconds, and then I took it out and cured it again, just to make sure that when I wipe it with this wipe, it's not going to slide back off. So I would suggest doing that. Do 260 seconds or 120 seconds, however your lamp works. And then you pour a little bit on one of those little slips I told you guys about earlier, and then you just wipe to get the sticky layer off, and then you can apply your top coat. So I'm going to do this and then I'll be right back. All right, so here we are after we took the sticky layer off. Now I can touch them without a problem. And y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Should I leave them like this, or should I come back for a part 2 and change the color to this B075? Here, let me show y'all again. It's so pretty. It's like an orange, pastel orange almost, that I think would look really pretty. I'm stuck. I really don't know. And then you shouldn't have to do too much buffing to them if your application is right. But again, if this is your first time or you're not familiar with how to use polygel, you may have to do some buffing and some filing. I don't need to do a lot of buffing. And here's the apex from the side. And this is the thickness that I like. Of course, you can go thicker. 4 layers was good. I felt like 5 layers would have been too thick. But right here, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, a little bit of the polygel kind of went onto my finger from maybe me holding my hand to the side to paint the other nails. So like I was telling you guys before, once you cure it like that, it will stay. So I mean, the only thing that you can do is like file on that side. So the only cleanup I have to do is to file that down there. And then once I kind of just make sure all the shapes are the same for each nail, I'll come back and do the top coat with you guys. All right, y'all, so I did the shaping. Mainly it was on this nail here, and they're hard at this point. So if you need to file, buff, whatever you need to do to clean up the edges, or maybe there's one part you didn't realize cured wrong, you can go back in with the filer and just get them to where you need them to be. But I'm done with that part, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the top coat. And of course, this brand also does have a matte coat if you wanted to matte them down. Say you did the orange, maybe you want to do 2 nails matte, the pinky glitter, and then the other 2 shiny. You can mix it up. There's a matte top coat as well for the BlueDee brand. And I'm going to go ahead. I want to wear mine shiny. So the top coat is always pretty thick, but I think I like this brand. It seems like a good quality for their base and top coats. And don't ask me why I start with the ring finger. I really can't figure out why. Sometimes it just kind of depends. But for the most part, I usually start with like the ring or the middle finger. But yeah, you just apply it. You don't need a thick layer of this. A thin layer will do. It's just basically just to give it the shine. And then you're going to cure it for another 60 seconds. And here it will be before you add the top coat. If you were doing anything like a design or glitter, you know, anything like that, you would do it before you do your top coat. This time, I don't know, I just don't feel like, I just want to rock this color for a little while. And then I will come back. If you guys tell me what you think, if I come back, I'll do like, I'll show you guys some designs that I've done in the past. Maybe I'll do some cheetah print or something like that on one of the fingers, or a glitter nail. But we'll see. So after you do this, you'll cure them. Make sure your whole nail is covered too. You don't want to miss any spots, sides. What I'll do is do like this, and then I'll come around the tips just to make sure everything's sealed and covered. Again, I get a lot of my lifting around there. If I do have any, I haven't had, thank God. And then I'm going to cure them for 60 seconds. Again. All right, y'all. So we are done as of now. And here we are after the top coat. So the last and final step we're going to do is use our cuticle oil, and this is available on Majestic Beauty by Nene.com. It's made with all types of high quality oils, hemp seed oil, lemon essential oil. It smells amazing and it's really good for your nails. So I go ahead and add this to my cuticles when I'm done, and it helps with nail growth and the health of your natural nails. It's really, really important, ladies, to make sure that even if you're wearing acrylics, gel, if you're wearing polygel or dip powder, whatever it is that you choose to wear, that you keep your natural nails healthy underneath that. So you just use it like this. You just wind it, and these are currently on sale at this time, and then you add it to your cuticles just like that. And it's good for hydration. I mean, it can be very drying to use the acetone and things like that when you're doing your nails. So adding that hydration back to the nail bed is really important. And then I just rub it in a little, and that is what we have. That is what we're left with. Everything looks good. Now I have to go do my other hand, but I'm not gonna do that on camera. I'm gonna try to make this video in good time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for next episode. We're probably gonna do some eyelash content for you guys next. So thank you again for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment, and share it with your friends. We thank you so much for being here.